What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Cameron, back at it again with another video. And today's video, man, this is going to be a little bit controversial. Alright, this is going to be a pretty controversial video. So, that being said, all of this shit is my opinion. So if you differ with this opinion, do not come at me in the comment section with some damn pitchforks and some torches and an angry mob. Alright, just give me a list in the comment section below and let me know what y'all think about it. But in this video, man, we're going to be ranking all of the Battlefield games, worst to best. Because Battlefield is a game that holds a special place in my heart and millions of other players as well. It has amassed over 50 million players worldwide and has 12 games under its belt. In today's video, we're going to be ranking all of the Battlefield games from worst to best, like I said. So strap in, boys and girls, because I have some controversial ass opinions. And with that being said, man, let's jump up in the video. And if you're new around here, hit that sub, and smash that like if you enjoyed. But yeah, man, let's jump up in the rankings right now. Did y'all expect anything different on this list? Like, let's be real here. It's a Battlefield game where you're a fucking cop. Yeah, Battlefield is a game that focuses on large-scale combat and vehicle and aerial combat. So, like, some motherfucker was in there being like, let's make a police game, y'all. Like it's Grand Theft Auto or something. Whoever came up with this idea is seriously a dumbass. Like, he has very little brain cells. This game did not feel like a Battlefield game at all, and the campaign was fucking ridiculous. It had missions with, like, explosions and hella shooting, and it made Miami look like fucking Stalingrad, man. Like, it was insane. The campaign was so ridiculous, bro. Like, no detective is gonna run in there and start blasting at people. It was so ridiculous and off the chain. It was like an action movie. It was legit like an action movie, and I could not take this game seriously at all. The campaign was just so dumb. Yeah, you could, like, arrest people and stuff, but, like, when there's, like, 30 different people shooting at you, bro, you're not gonna arrest them. You're just gonna be blasted at them. So I don't understand where they were going for it. I don't know, a Battlefield game where you're a cop just is ridiculous. And the multiplayer was really, really bad, too. I guess they try to integrate, like, stealth and stuff into it, but I don't understand it. Like, it's Battlefield, bro. Like, it's Battlefield. There's not really stealth operations in Battlefield because you're a soldier in Battlefield on a fucking battlefield. You're not going to be stealthily creeping around on a battlefield. I don't understand it, man. I really don't. I guess the escort, like, you have to escort somebody from, like, point A to point B. That was pretty cool. It's like some CSGO action. But it felt more of, like, a DLC for BF4 than anything. And so for that fact, I don't know. For that fact, it's ridiculous. You have to spend $60 on DLC. It just baffles me. Like, all Battlefield games innovate and feel drastically different from one another, but this title, honest to God, was just a pile of shit with no innovation whatsoever. At number 11, we have Battlefield 1942. I didn't play this game because I was 3 at the time it was released, but hey, thanks for giving us Battlefield 1942. And you're still better than Hardline, and it's in World War II, so that's pretty dope. At number 10, we have Battlefield Vietnam. I didn't play this game either, but from what I've read and from what I've researched, it innovated a lot and fixed a lot of the problems that were in Battlefield 1942, so that's always a good thing and a step in the right direction, and a lot of people love this game, so I'm going to trust you guys' judgment, because you guys probably have good judgment from the people who played it, and it's still better than Hardline, and honestly, I'm interested in another Battlefield Vietnam on these consoles, or maybe next-gen consoles, because, like, we don't really have that many Vietnam shooters, now that I think about it. Like, all I could really name for Vietnam shooters is Bad Company 2 Vietnam, which is pretty much just a DLC, and Black Ops, and Black Ops only half in Vietnam. But I'm down for, like, another Battlefield in Vietnam on, like, next-gen consoles. I think that'd be pretty badass. Alright, this is where I get controversial. At number 9, we have Battlefield Bad Company. I know this is a controversial pick, and I played this game for 3 days, and I never played it again. Not only was the campaign some Call of Duty rip-off bullshit, the multiplayer was a worse version of Battlefield 2's multiplayer. And to me, this game just felt silly and not serious, and a drastic alteration of the source material that I wasn't down with. The multiplayer is what I played was very average. It was never as good as a competitor at the time, COD 4, which is probably like one of the best games of all time. And it added Rush. Rush is a pretty dope game mode. But yeah, man, I don't know. Battlefield Bad Company to me was just kind of ridiculous. You know? It just wasn't the same as other Battlefields. Like, Battlefield is usually more serious and more realistic than COD. And it just didn't feel like it was very realistic. And the graphics were shit. And it was just silly. I did not like it. Number 8, man, you have Battlefield 2142. So now, we're into badass Battlefield games. And this is how you make a future shooter that's not a Halo game. This is like one of the only future shooters that I like that is not a Halo game. And I remember getting this game and playing it on my shitty mid-2000s dial-up connection. The story was believable because, like, mankind ran out of resources, so they was trying to fucking fight for the last resources. Like, that's realistic. I could really see that happening, you know? It's not like Call of Duty future shooters where some motherfucker was on some Star Wars shit and flying around on Jupiter. Like, this is actually, like, real, and I could get behind the story because it seemed like it could really happen in the future. It wasn't, like, some stupid bullshit. Like, Halo gets a pass because it's, like, fantasy and shit. But man, Battlefield and COD, they do not get a pass, bro. But that's why I liked it. The one time Battlefield does go future, they keep it like realistic and in reality, and it's not ridiculous. But the multiplayer is what I want to talk about. The multiplayer was amazing, man. The guns were dope, and they were still grounded in reality. They weren't like laser shooters. They were like just regular guns, but they just looked like they were kind of in the future. The multiplayer was so fun, man. It was grounded in reality, and it wasn't some future laser gun Star Wars bullshit. Now that I'm 100% down for a remake on console or a new future shooter from Battlefield, because this game was only on PC and Mac, from what I remember. I could have been, no, it wasn't on console. Yeah, it was only on PC and Mac. And I'm 100% down for a new console port. And the maps are awesome, and they looked like you're fighting on a frozen wasteland. Like, everything was snowy. It legit looked like a fucking wasteland, man. And I can't put this too high, because it was just kind of a reskin of Battlefield 2. Now that I think about it, it was just like a future reskin of Battlefield 2. With that being said, let's jump into the next one. Number 7, man, we have Battlefield 1943. Guys, I had some amazing memories on this game with the Iwo Jima maps and the Wake Island maps. They're some of the best, and I pray that they get remade in Battlefield 5. And I'm also a sucker for World War II games. And this game had it all, man. It was in the Pacific, which I feel never gets enough love from video games, which pisses me off. For World War II games, this game, man, had it all. It was in the Pacific, which I feel it never gets enough love from video games, man. How many World War II shooters that you see that are in the Pacific? Like, none. They're all in Europe, they're all in Western Front, they're all in Russia. Like, there's not that many that are in the Pacific. So, like, when the Pacific gets added, like, I don't feel I like it more because the landscape is so cool. I just feel like it's a cooler aspect of World War II that doesn't really get enough love from game developers. But this game, man, it did it. It did it, bro. It did it, man. It made a dope-ass Pacific theater shooter. And it's probably one of the better ones I played that's not called World at War. But the one problem it had, it was never an actual full game. It was kind of just like a little sprinkle. A little preview of what you was gonna get. But I didn't like that, bro. That's the one thing that's keeping it from being higher on this list, because it was just a little sprinkle of some World War II shooter. But I wish they made it a full game. It would have been way higher if it was a full game. It was just a World War II reskin of Bad Company, but it was a lot more fun to me than Bad Company. And real ones used the M1 Garand in this game. And it honestly had really good graphics for the time, and it was a step up from Bad Company's PS1 graphics. And I love this game, man. It really holds a special place in my heart. I always used the Assault with the Thompson and the M1 Garand. Like, I had a great time with this game, guys. And if you guys have never played it and you still have a PS3 or Xbox, I'd suggest downloading it. Maybe there's some people on. I highly doubt, because this was a little bit more of an obscure title at the time. number 6, man, we have Battlefield Bad Company 2. And all the problems I had with Bad Company were amended in this game. And also the DLC, the Vietnam DLC was fucking dope, bro. It added so much to the game. The graphics looked good. And it felt like 1943, but with way more content and just a modern reskin. And Battlefield Bad Company 2 felt so much more smooth than its predecessor. But to be honest, it really wasn't COD at the time. And more people played COD at the time, including myself. So I didn't have as much fun with this game as 1943, but I will have to admit that it's a better game than 1943 just because it has a lot more content and a lot more bang for your buck. So that's why it's up here on, that's why it's better than 1943 in my opinion. And the Vietnam DLC. The Vietnam DLC was really, really fun, man. I had a good time playing that game, and most of my hours on this game were on the Vietnam DLC. The base game was, cool or whatever. If Bad Company 2 was dope, man, here comes Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 took the fucking Battlefield name and totally gave it a reskin, man. And it came out, it had some dope-ass maps like Tehran Highway, amazing graphics, the Conquest was dope and more fast-paced than ever before. And here it comes with all these amazing maps and the customization, and it was just so fucking amazing, man. It finally gave COD a real competitor. It really did. Battlefield 3 at that year was most likely better than COD in my opinion. It finally added the fast-paced action. Even though the maps were still huge, it was a lot easier to get from point A to point B and prior. I remember in Battlefield 2 you had to run a fucking marathon to get to point A and point B. But now they added all these cool vehicles, they added some dope-ass customization like camos and all that, and it was a lot more cool than Battlefield Bad Company 2. And that's why this Battlefield 3 is at number 5. 4, man, we have the OG Battlefield 2. Guys, the nostalgia I have for this game, it was the first great modern first-person shooter at the time, and it made Battlefield mainstream. It was my first Battlefield game ever. The DLC kicked ass too with the European Union and the Special Forces, and you could have the night vision goggles and stuff, and the graphics and the smoothness of the gunplay were so ahead of its time. And even though I only played at bots at the time, Battlefield used to be able to just play against bots if you didn't want to play online. So in this game in 2142, I just played against bots all the time. And man, I had a great time with this game. I remember playing it on my brother's fucking PC that we got for Christmas. But this game was so fucking dope, man. I don't remember much of it. I just remember that I had a really, really good time playing this as a kid. But I haven't played it in a decade, man. But this game was dope, bro. I remember the desert maps too. They were super fun. And it was honestly the first modern shooter that a lot of people liked. Because back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, there was only World War II shooters really. You had Medal of Honor, Brothers in Arms, COD, shit like that. And there really wasn't that many modern shooters. And this was kind of a breath of fresh air at the time. We're in the top 3, and this was a seriously tough call for me to make. Even though Battlefield 4 was terrible at launch, plagued with bugs, but the end product is still the second best Modern Warfare shooter I've ever played. They added a shit ton of game modes, and the customization options were awesome. The maps were fucking great, except for Flood Zone. Fucking hate Flood Zone, man. And the Scar H is still the best early unlock gun in BF history. Do not at me, man. The Scar H is fucking lit. I still use the Scar H to this day in my Battlefield gameplays. I still use it to this day. To this day. I love the maps in this game, and the graphics were sick at the time, even though they kind of look like shit now, because it's from 2013. It's I think it was the first Battlefield on next gen. Yeah, it was. But yeah, guys, this game was dope, even though the launch was horrid. The launch was really, really, really bad. And at number 2, y'all, we have Battlefield 1. This is something I never thought would happen. A World War I shooter that's action-packed and not campy, and just you're not in the trenches and you're actually pushing people. And I never thought I would like a World War I shooter, so this game really got me by surprise. I remember my brother was telling me about it, get Battlefield 1. I'm like, Battlefield 1? What is Battlefield 5? He's like, no, this game's in World War I, that's why it's called Battlefield 1. And I was like, oh shit, that sounds kind of lame. You're just gonna be in a trench shooting across some fucking mud. And then he was like, nah, bro, like, this game is lit. So I downloaded it, and oh my god, man, this game still gets me amped, especially with the addition of the operations mode, which is honestly my favorite mode in any first-person shooter, Battlefield 1 Operations. This is a close second to number 1, and the operations mode made me feel like an actual World War I soldier. Like I was actually fighting for the objective, fighting to take the objectives. It made me feel like that. And Battlefield 1 is still the most immersive first-person shooter I've ever played. And the classes were awesome, the graphics are great, and the maps are fucking beautiful. Like, you look at the maps and you're like, wow, man, this really looks like amazing. And the focus on teamwork is dope. This game will always have a special place in my heart. I had a lot of good memories. And y'all see this, man. Y'all see this gameplay of me beasting on Argonne Forest. Just look at it. Look how great it looks. It's almost 3 years later and it still looks amazing. Like, this game really is still one of the best games ever made, in my opinion. Okay, put your pitchforks down and let me explain for a second. All the SJW bullshit out the way, the game is easily the best Battlefield game ever. They added so much and fixed so many problems with the previous titles, such as running while crouched. Like, that was really annoying, how you can't run while you're crouched in previous Battlefield games. That kind of pisses me off. But I'm glad that they finally added that in this one. And I love the fast-paced action of the game. And self-healing is also way better than progressive healing. You cannot go back to progressive healing after you've gotten used to self-healing. It's just annoying and you feel like it's really slow. Because self-healing allows a lot faster gameplay than progressive. Because you're injured in progressive, you gotta sit behind the rock, sit behind some sandbags, and wait 30 seconds or whatever. Self-healing, you get hit, you're down to like 50 or 40. Self-heal, I'm ready to go. Let's push these motherfuckers. And it's also a World War II shooter, and World War II kicks ass. So of course I'm going to rank it high. And Tides of War is honestly pretty dope. I've gotten around to it. I like how it's kind of a battle pass feel with a little bit of a twist at the end of it. And I cannot wait till this game adds a lot more factions, a lot more everything like that. And then you guys will see how fucking amazing this game really is. The gameplay is great, man. Fuck the SJW bullshit. Fuck SJWs. They're fucking pieces of shit. And nobody hates them more than I do. Trust me, I fucking hate SJWs. But with all that stupid shit out the side, man, you need to legit check this game out and give it a chance because it's fucking amazing. For watching, and if you enjoyed, smash that like button and let me know y'all list in the comment section below. And I hope you enjoyed. Smash that like button, like I said, or dislike it if you disagree with me. And subscribe if you're new, and if you like Battlefield content, you gotta subscribe, man. I upload twice a day, every single day. That all being said,